Hello Leo, Leo Rising, and Leo Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting April 17th, 2017. And just so you know ahead of time, guys, I'm going to be putting out a special video on what to do during the Venus shadow period. Venus is going to be in her recovery phase for the last couple of weeks of this month, and there's a good way to make use of it. Don't worry, you don't have to wait too long. I've already got it recorded. I just got to do the touch-ups on it, and it'll be good to go. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, this week we've got a lovely connection going on Monday between the Sun, finishing up in Aries in your 9th house of higher education, travel, government and legal proceedings, as well as your multicultural expansiveness, your spiritual life, connecting to Saturn, currently retrograde in your 5th house of love and romance and your relationships with your kids. Now, this could be a wonderful time for those of you who are looking to perhaps get away from a cultural norm that seems to be making it harder to either find love, or it's making it harder on your relationship, or making it harder to be a parent. Because this kind of angle says we are getting away with breaking a rule, as per what, Saturn retrograde does. It makes us check over all the rules and policies and regulations that, we ourselves just abide by compulsively. And really actually sets up a bit of freedom, for a bit more originality, for an opportunity to actually get closer to a lover or our child, because we're being more of ourselves instead of acting like the way we think a partner or a parent is supposed to act. And that may actually break down a very, very long, old, outdated barrier when it comes to being close to these people. Later on in the week, we've got the Sun recently moved into Taurus, into your 10th house of career, connecting to Mercury, also retrograde in this area for a little while longer. And when the Sun and Mercury retrograde come together, it's all good. And in your 10th house of career, we're having an opportunity for you to rediscover a former friend or a former client or a former peer in your workforce, or somebody who's been working in the same field as you who has made it pretty big. And you may actually find a way to create a new alliance with them, or they may be coming with a new opportunity for you. So a flash from the past does actually bring you something brand new when it comes to your vocation. This could be a new job or a new way to proliferate or propagate an existing self-employment business or opportunity that you have been working on as well. Either way, whoever this person is, definitely knows their stuff. And again, them coming back into the picture is all good for you. So what is going on for your cards? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Solitary. And again, this is talking about focus on self-love and individuality. And this week it's important to pay attention to where, Leo, we may be thinking way too much about convention or how things are supposed to be according to examples that came before us, instead of actually getting to know everyone involved, including yourself, and how you express yourself uniquely. Now, we do live in a world where sometimes societal pressures, supersede the development of the self, and this can be a real problem, especially when it comes to being able to have more personal relationships. And the Solitary card is saying, look, don't be afraid every once in a while to just break the rules and go it your own damn way. That is what Saturn retrograde, again, is all about. The Solitary card can even have you thinking about where you need to abandon certain standards, expectations, or even, good on paper types of beliefs that don't work when it comes to actually handling yourself and your, again, the way you interact with others this week. Because you may find that your original spin is perhaps more up-to-date, perhaps just a bit more useful, effective, satisfying, results? I'll leave it at that. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we have the Ten of Cups upright. This is a beautiful card because it's one of the best cards in the deck. It does talk about some kind of major culmination, and I like to paraphrase this as the happily ever after card. Some kind of major victory is coming your way, whether it's a major victory in getting a title, a license, or a hire that you've been looking for, or perhaps even the closure of some old business that's been weighing you down. The Ten of Cups upright can also indicate a major win for those of you who are looking to perhaps cash in on an investment you've been hoping to have had matured for a decent profit, whether it be a house, maybe something that you've been putting your money into as far as, as an investor in a business. Either way, there is something ready for, for picking. It's ripe for picking. The Ten of Cups upright can also indicate, again, a reunion of a team building around you, or a stronger financial team being formed around you. And this could be, again, either through a new office or a new job, or that Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun, bringing your strongest, or bringing the best and strongest people, the best and strongest crew, back to you. Either way, wonderful week. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Knight of Wands upright. And there is an invitation coming for you. There's an invitation coming to actually, again, join some kind of new gathering or new group. The Knight of Wands upright can often show up as somebody who's also working on making you more popular. Somebody who's actually spreading the word about your name. Whether they're trying to set you up on, when it comes to, your financial affairs, which is what seems to be very much governed since since by then, the Sun will be in your 10th house, a major financial area. We've also got this person perhaps even trying to set you up, and usually the Knight of Wands does show up with a hookup. Whether it's a friend or a relative trying to hook you up with, again, with work, with love, somebody wants to actually put you out there to be seen and exposed. You may not have been ready to have something like this made public, but it is actually something that should have been happening, and it's long overdue. So if you weren't going to do it, somebody else was, and it's a good thing they did. For your challenge this week with fire, we have the Hermit card upright, another solitary card, another focus on being able to focus on personal, on your originality, but perhaps also setting an example for others. The Hermit card upright does talk about lighting the way for others and saying to hell with convention or what is expected. Usually the Hermit card upright can also talk about a need to shy away from peer pressure, whether it's peer pressure from friends, peer pressure from, your religions, peer pressure from, the work culture or the business culture, or, what might be considered marketable or appealing. Because the Hermit card is basically saying at this point in time, all of those things have failed. For now. That doesn't call them a failure. It's just basically saying a lot of these things are failing to serve you this week. And the Hermit card upright is also saying, again, you may be setting an example for somebody who could, who could use a big brother or sister in you, Leo, at this point in time. So make sure that you do the right thing. People are watching. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we have the Queen of Swords reversed. There had to be something. Had to be something. Now, the Queen of Swords reversed, honestly, does show up as somebody who I think that you probably, if you're single and you're looking, just realize red flags can be flying. Okay, now she's not the only person, or he, could be a he, but they're not the only person, there's the pronoun, they're not the only person who you're going to meet this week, but the Queen of Swords reverse can often indicate somebody who can seem like the most passionate or the most interested, but there's something that is in the way of getting close to them because there's something they're just not letting go. Now, we've all been on those dates where somebody decides to bring their past relationship or, on the date with them. And all of a sudden you're spending, 2 hours talking about somebody else's breakup or a divorce. This is that kind of person. The Queen of Swords reverse can indicate bitterness being a problem with somebody new this week, and you may not necessarily want to, dive in too deep too fast with this energy. It's not necessarily to say that this is a bad person, but they're pushing themselves to look more ready than they really are. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Queen of Swords reverse may indicate trouble coming to you and a partner at the same time from somebody from your past, somebody that the two of you have, thought you did a pretty good job of shutting out. This could be an ex, but, of one of you, maybe, that is the case, or this could even just be an old mutual friend or an old in-law or family member who we thought that we took proper space from. Apparently, that space is not wide enough. And so we may have to reaffirm or readdress the issue and stand our ground in, no, we were definitely serious, you need to go. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.